Hello there, this is Sandhya and welcome to Dynamic Living. I will say first and foremost, to thine own self be true, which is that please look at your own personality and see what comes naturally to you. Because the more you go against your grain, like I see so many people go to endless networking events and it drains them out. Again, the little free energy that we have after keeping our heart beating and our blood pumping, do you really want to waste that having what to you is a meaningless conversation over people who you're never going to meet again in your life? However, there are some people that derive energy, that thrive from these interactions and meeting somebody over cocktails or whatever it may be. So really, I would say definitely first ask yourself who you are. And at the end of the day, it's also about what your game plan is, right? If it's a pain point that you're addressing, if that is what your motivation is, then where is the I in this? There will be times where, so to give you my personal example, when I started my first store, I said, oh, it's going to be the first like brand, nobody's even going to know who was behind the store. And I started writing to all the press people saying that, listen, there's this store, it's a concept store and stuff like that. Everybody the only sort of feelers I got back from the press were, hey, we want to know about you, your lifestyle, what do you do for your free time, what does your own house look like? It was a furniture and home decor store, right? And I was flabbergasted. Initially I was like, no, and I am a bit of an introvert, but now look how you can flip the same thing on its head. Because my cause was greater, because I wanted to sell a lifestyle which was to say that you can be yourself, you don't need to have showy furniture. That was my entire concept. I was able to go out of my comfort zone and let them a little bit into my personal life as much as I could handle, but it would have been a lot more than I would have otherwise done. Like I would never have been comfortable putting myself out there. Because I was thinking of the larger cause, which was the brand, it in fact allowed me to bring myself out more. So partly I will say go with who you are as a starting point, but also when it's not just about you, you will be able to bring a lot more of your personality into it. So I was consulting with another brand whose founder was very reticent, like she'd never given an interview and things like that. And I urged her, I said, look, you're so passionate about your cause and you wear your brand and you live your brand. Who can be a better spokesperson for your brand than you? And she didn't. And we often feel like, oh my God, I can't do it like them. I have to be like Elon Musk. These are the biggest fallacies. Comparison always comes from a place of I am here and you are there, or I am there and you can't compare. You're so unique as a person. So when you say that, okay, I can't speak like Elon Musk, but I sure as hell am going to speak like Sandhya, and let's see how that goes down. That could actually be the voice that nobody has heard before, because it is uniquely your voice. So why would you're dishonoring an authentic voice by trying to be somebody else. But on the other hand, there can be no fear and no hesitation or ego when it is in the service of something bigger. That's the fallacy. I will say that you are yourself above all else. Okay. In answer to the first part of your question, that how will I know, and it's about introspection, actually the easiest way to know is from where you're feeling anxiety and tension. If something is, it will niggle, it will grate on you if it doesn't feel true to you, or if you're losing yourself, or if you're losing your identity, or indeed if you're getting too attached. I will say a company is your baby. But I say this to parents as well, which is that please allow your baby to develop a life of its own, a personality of its own. Do not think that every achievement of your child is your achievement. No, it is not. You are a completely different person, just as you're a completely different person from your partner, from your parent, your child, your baby. Your company is a different entity that you're creating. So it is important to keep that separation at all times, which is why if the company gets massive, imagine that the flip side to that is your ego will explode. Whatever will happen to you then? Just as we see the other side to it, which is that if things go wrong with the company, we feel it's a personal hit. That's where the fallacy lies. We need to have, and in fact, you will not be able to make the best decision for your company if there is too much emotional attachment or identification. Why in medicine is a doctor who may be the best doctor, he may be like the best cardiothoracic surgeon, why is he not allowed to operate on his own wife or on his own mother? Because the emotional attachment clouds his judgment. And that is true for attachment of any kind in any sphere. Please don't be so, your own identity, your own persona, your own values are such a precious commodity. Don't be so quick to give it away to anybody who asks for it. Share of it, let the company reflect off of some of that, but don't lose any of yourself to it. You need to stay completely whole. Easier said than done, but with practice, it can be done. So, no, actually, my invitation to you, it's more than adrenaline. It could be a dopamine and a serotonin high. The adrenaline comes from the risk element in it, right? So, one way to think about it, and again, I'll go back to philosophy. There is a quote, which is, take to work as a prince does to sport, which is that a prince is going to hunt. Now, the prince doesn't need to hunt to kill to feed his children who may be starving at home. He has all the riches in the world. He has everything at his service. He is, and that's what, all the philosophies say, you are abundant within yourself and all of that. Why are you entering this game? Which is in a very crude way to say that, God forbid, tomorrow, if you disappear off the face of this earth, the world is going to continue just fine. We might believe that, oh, my baby, what will happen to it if I'm not there? But you know what? The world will go on, everybody on your team will get another job or whatever it may be, right? Somebody else will buy it out and make it 10x of what it is today. So we have to remove that. That's why I said that attachment is the source of your lack of clarity and will actually also take you through this emotional roller coaster. If you just say that, hey, I'm a prince, I already have everything, the world doesn't need me, but let me just try this game just to see, how good we are at it. Let's have fun doing this. We want to do something because we believe, like I said, again, the more you think of the end user, the different people, the different stakeholders in that game, the less it becomes about our petty egos. And the minute our petty ego becomes zero, we'll have utmost clarity because you'll have utmost detachment. There is no part of yourself that's bleeding for this company, right? You will give it your everything. The prince will hunt with utmost accuracy, clarity, focus. Without the difference between the two is the other person will be worried about, oh, will I get this? Will I not kill? Will I be able to feed? Will my children go hungry? That much worry takes away focus from that aim that you have and the focus that you have when you're shooting. Think of it that way. So if you think of this whole, and that's why also a lot of philosophies talk about, life is a game and life is Maya and life is all this is an illusion. It's really to say, get over yourself. Actually, at the end of the day, nobody really needs us. We're doing this because we think we can make some people happy and bring a smile to somebody's face, right? That's essentially that's the only way people are going to remember us. If you read an obituary tomorrow, nobody's going to say, oh, he got 3 million in funding in his first round. They're going to say, he made this many people happy and we miss him now. So think about it from that perspective. There's philosophy everywhere. That's why I love reading the obituaries. I'm like, has anybody talked about, how much the value of his company was or which series he has reached in his funding? No.